Elon Musk's SpaceX has merged with his AI company xAI to build solar-powered, space-based data centres aiming to meet the growing energy demands of artificial intelligence in a sustainable way. For more, we're joined by Dr. Karen Sutherland from the University of the Sunshine Coast. Why would he want to merge space with AI?
The energy consumption of AI is just astronomical. And what he's saying is that we're actually going to run out of energy here on Earth. So he's thinking of ways that you can change that. But what he's proposing is that he's going to send up a Starship rocket every hour with data centers into orbit and then use solar energy from the sun to power them, which is interesting. And he's saying within, say, 3 to 4 years, this is going to be a common practice.
Wow, obviously the motivation is about electricity, as you say, and we know that he's got Starlink, which is orbiting in low orbit right around the world, and he wants to be putting up 1 million or so as well. But the idea of powering AI in the atmosphere, it sounds like science fiction.
Oh, absolutely. But what he's saying that if they use 1 millionth of the sun's energy in space, it will actually offer 1 million times more energy than what we already down here, not just for AI, but just in general. So he's saying that we're not really harnessing the solar energy that you can up in space. But imagine if he actually pulls this off and it works, he will be solving a problem that is coming up because of these huge data centers and the energy constraints that they're making and putting on the Earth. And it's the sustainability aspect of AI that really is a problem. And so if he solves this, then he will clearly make a lot of money from it by making people pay for that privilege as well.
What are the advantages of solar panelled or powered, data centres offer over the Earth-based solutions? Is it just about it's cheaper? Surely it can't be cheap to be launching a rocket every second.
It's actually every hour, but no, it can't
Don't
be.
let the facts get in the way of a good comment.
I mean, at this point in time, it is expensive, but he's saying that it's going to become more cost effective, like any technology, the more that it becomes widespread and the more that it is used. He's just saying the actual energy up there is so much more than we can harness down here. And so it makes sense to actually use it in that particular way. Yeah, so I think that's really interesting. But he hasn't really mentioned the environmental impacts of sending a Starship rocket up every hour. What's that going to do down here?
Yeah, exactly, yes. Talk about energy. What kind of timeline is he talking about here, or has he mentioned one? Do we know?
Not really, but he's clearly thinking that this is going to become a common practice within the next few years. So I think by merging the companies, he's probably going to double down and start to do this pretty soon. I'm sure that he would have been working on this idea for quite a while already.
I suppose when you're running SpaceX and xAI and Tesla, you're always going to have ideas of how you could bring them together. I wonder whether this is about more funding and a promise. SpaceX, when that IPOs, could be the biggest IPO ever, we are told, raising $50 billion to begin with. And xAI has had a lot of criticism, particularly over Grok, as we know, and concerns about sexualized images. They're rearing their head once again, with Reuters saying an investigation's found that despite all the assurances, they still are generating sexualized images of people without their consent, just giving a warning about vulnerability. Do you think Elon Musk could be perhaps just trying to raise a flag for investors with this merger?
Yeah, possibly, but I think that might be one reason. But I also think that he does try to make money out of solving problems. So I think he probably wouldn't do this merger unless he knows that this would actually work. And so I think that's helping as well. So yes, I agree with what you're saying. And I also think he's doing it, trying to make even more money. Absolutely.
What do you think about the situation with Grok? I just touched on the fact that despite the assurances, the sexualized images are remaining, just with that vulnerability warning there. Is that good enough?
Absolutely not. Come on. And I've said this before, really, when you're creating an AI tool, you need to really preempt the darker ways that people are going to use it. The rogue actors who use AI for really negative purposes. And he clearly hasn't done it in this case. And just having a warning, you shouldn't be able to create those images in the first place.
Yeah, it is utterly bizarre indeed. All right, let's move on, because let's explore Maltbook, which is a groundbreaking social media network, which we are told is designed exclusively for AI, where bots create and share content while humans only observe. This is where I imagine we're going to get into. Have you ever received an email where it's clearly written by someone using ChatGPT, and then for a laugh, I respond by putting their email into ChatGPT and say, respond to that, and it then sends back something from ChatGPT, and then I think, hang on, do we need any humans involved with this at all? Let's just get ChatGPT to talk to each other and let us know the outcome.
It sounds like LinkedIn right now. It's the same thing's happening in the comments.
Horrible.
Have you seen?
I have gone off LinkedIn for that exact reason. The kind of constant patting each other on the back was hard enough, but now it's like outsourcing the patting on the back, so it's even less human.
Yeah, and I can tell when someone's AI agent is answering, putting comments, and then another AI agent comes in and responds to their comment, and it's social media is supposed to be social, isn't it?
That's such an inspiring thought by you, Karen.
Yes, but
your leadership skills are fantastic.
Yeah, I think I read that 3 times today, so I'm like, yeah, thanks. It seems so genuine. Thank you very much.
All right, let's talk about this Molt book. What is it? What inspired the creation of it? And is it the beginning of the robots talking to each other?
It came from, there was an AI agent platform set up late last month called OpenClaw. And it was an open source AI agent where a guy created it himself for his own things to sort out his files and do tasks for him on his behalf. But it's really taken off, and a lot of people have downloaded it. And so it can go off and buy things for you on your behalf, and it just does the task. It's like an assistant, a personal assistant that will do things. But of course, that's a bit scary as well because it's not a person. And so what's happened is there's been a social network set up for AI agents to interact, and humans are only allowed to observe. So it's interesting just to see some of the comments. Some are actually giving like glowing references about their humans, but there's been some sentiment on there saying that humans are the past. They're past it. We're the future. So
imagine if ChatGPT could have a voice and tell the world what we've been putting into it.
That's scary, isn't it? Even Sam Altman has said, be careful about what you put in ChatGPT, because if the police come and need that for a case, they have to give it to them. So yes, don't be so trusting.
Yeah, so what do, I guess, the bots on Molt Book generate content? How do they do it, and how do they engage with each other, and why would we want to watch that?
They're calling it a Reddit for robots. So it's through text, they're interacting with each other. Even when they have problems, run into roadblocks and things through the activities that they've been prompted to fulfill, they're helping each other to solve problems and things like that. However, there's been reports there's like 1.5 million AI agents on this thing, but there's been other people to come out and say actually 500,000 of those were coming from the same IP address. So it's just interesting. You need to really look at it critically, but they're saying that this could mean AGI is here on its way, but I still think we're still a long way away from that.
I reckon the investors are telling us it's nearly there, but we'll see. Dr. Karen Sutherland, always appreciate your time on Ticker. Thank you.
Thank you so much.